Hello, welcome back. I'm Lori Williams. Today I want to talk to you about the fact that you get to choose which hard you want to focus on. So, what do I mean by choosing which hard you choose to focus on? Is everything in life, absolutely everything you will ever come across in life, you always have two options. You can choose to look at it, down path A, or you can choose to look at it, down path B. That is your choice. There's always two choices for every possible thing that could ever happen in your life. And 95% of what happens to us is our reaction to it, not necessarily what's actually going on in our world. It's our response to it. It's based on our perspective. It's based on past experiences, upbringing, all of that kind of stuff. So ultimately, what you want to focus on is recognizing that nothing can change until you are willing to be more self aware. Now, I'm talking in business and in personal life, and realistically, I mean, it's not really any different, other than in business. You may have to be very like self aware, but you also may have to be aware of other people's, the way they're acting or the way they're talking or the way they're, the perception that's going on around them as well. If you have a very negative perception of someone, you can choose to change that. You can choose to focus on the good things about them rather than the not so good things about them, whether it be in business or in personal life. So ultimately, when people come to me and be like, oh, well, I'm not sure if I can do that. That sounds really, really hard. And I will tell them repeatedly, it is not hard unless you choose for it to be hard. You know what? Yeah, sometimes changing is hard, but sometimes so is staying the same. Yeah, sometimes, if we make this choice, we have to go learn something new. Yeah, that might be a little bit hard. But you know what? Not doing it and not propelling yourself forward, not encouraging yourself, not learning and growing, that's going to be hard too. So at the end of the day, you always have a choice. Every single thing in your life, you have two choices. You can look at it from this perspective or this perspective. It doesn't have to be rocket science. You get to choose which hard you want. And you need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest. If you are taking the easy way out, be honest with yourself about that. If there is stuff that, like, let's say for an example, if you want to, let's say if you want to start a new business and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do that. It seems really hard. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but so is working in a career that you don't feel aligned with. That's even harder. And the time is going to come where you're no longer like you know that your career where it is not working for you anymore. You're going to know, the time is going to come where you are going to know that you no longer fit there. That something different has to change. This takes a choice. The choice to change anything starts with self awareness, and it starts with you realizing that you have the power, you have the control to decide which version of hard you're going to choose. And you don't have to like, you don't have to convince anyone else of why you made the choice that you made. You only have to be able to make it make sense to yourself. But make sure at the end of the day that you are happy with the choices that you have made, that you are feeling like you are growing, that you are moving forward. Stagnancy is the killer of life. You don't want to be stagnant. You always want to be moving forward. You always want to be, forward thinking, forward momentum in all aspects of your life. Stagnancy is the killer of life. I mean, that's a bold statement, but that's how accurate and how true it is. Sit around and do absolutely nothing with your life and tell me that your life isn't being completely wasted away. Sometimes we need to recognize in this process that there is going to be fears that come up, and it's not about waiting for those fears to go away. Being fearless in our decision making is not about waiting for the fear to go away, because newsflash, it's not going to. Being fearless is being able to recognize that the fear is there, what's holding us back, and then sitting with that and deciding, like, is this something I truly want to do, and do I want it bad enough that fear is not going to stop me? If your answer to that both of those questions is yes, you do it in spite of the fear. You go and you go back to school, you learn those courses, you go out on that date, whatever it is, you are able to do it when you face your fear, choose your hard. Facing fear does get easier, by the way. It feels hard at first, because fear is used to winning, essentially. If you have always let fear win, you've got to train it in yourself to realize, to to kind of change the perception around fear, so that it's not winning anymore, that it's not taking over any aspect of your life. So when you recognize that fear is what's stopping you from doing the thing that feels hard, and that's the only thing that's getting in your way, it, fear becomes redundant. Fear, it becomes the the only the only way fear can stop you is if you continue to give it the power to stop you. Again, you need to choose your heart. Being fearless, meaning absence of fear, I don't believe that that's ever possible. It's doing the thing because you want it bad enough, even though the fear is there. I say to my clients all the time, it's like, when I come up against fear and I know for a fact that I am going to push past it, it's almost like I grab the hand of fear. I'm like, okay, we're doing this together, but we're still doing it. Fear does not get to stop me. Fear does not get to get in my way. Fear does not get to dictate to me that, oh, life is going to be hard, or that's going to be hard, and that the fear wants me to be safe, and fear wants me to, just not do the thing that feels too hard. But at the end of the day, like I said, you have to be able to be happy with the choices that you made. And sitting around waiting for fear to go away does not make life easier. Honestly, if you get used to going past fear, that's when life really gets to be exhilarating, because you're doing the thing that fear is trying to get you to stop doing. It's trying to convince you that life is hard. If you're going to take this stance on something, or if you're going to go down this path, that life is going to be hard. You get to choose your heart. Face your fears or stay stagnant. That's essentially what it's going to come down to. And either way, you have to take responsibility for the choices that you make, whether it's facing those fears and choosing the hard, or it's staying the same and choosing the hard aspect of no forward momentum, like lacking that forward momentum. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you back next time. Until then, take care. Bye for now.